Okay, real talk. If you're like me and just stumbled into your first Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class, you've probably spent the last few weeks feeling like a toddler trying to assemble IKEA furniture. No instructions, way too many limbs involved, and somehow everyone else makes it look easy, while you're over here accidentally spazzing into someone's knee. I'm James, a freshly minted white belt with about 30 days of mat time. Just enough to know how little I actually know. And let me tell you, BJJ is nothing like what I thought it would be. Before I started, I figured it was all flashy submissions and UFC highlights. You know, the kind of stuff that makes you yell, "Just tap him out!" at the TV. Then, reality hit. My first roll? Got stuck under some dude's side control for what felt like an eternity, gasping for air like a fish on the dock. My professor kept saying, "Position before submission." And I nodded like I got it, but really, I was just waiting for him to teach me the cool chokes. It took me weeks to realize that phrase isn't just some motivational poster crap. It's the entire game. You can't just jump for an armbar like you're in a John Wick movie. If you don't control where the fight happens, you're basically playing rock, paper, scissors with your eyes closed. So here's what I've pieced together so far, broken down in a way that even a day one spaz like me can understand. Because if I can save one newbie from face planting during their first takedown attempt, it'll be worth it. Here's the thing about BJJ that blew my mind. It's not about being the strongest or the fastest. It's about being smarter. Forget what you've seen in UFC highlights or WWE suplexes. This is chess, but instead of moving pawns, you're using hips, grips, and leverage to outmaneuver someone. The Gracies looked at traditional Japanese jiu-jitsu and basically said, "Cool techniques, but let's cut the ceremonial stuff and keep only what actually works when you're getting your butt kicked in an alley." What emerged was this beautiful system where physics beats muscles every time. I've seen 120-pound purple belts tie 200-pound newbies into human pretzels, not because they're stronger, but because they understand how to use their weight against them. And now, don't get me wrong, there's definitely a sports side to BJJ where we roll without strikes, play guard games, and chase points in competitions. But my professor won't let us forget, if it doesn't work in a real fight, it's just a fancy party trick. That means no butt scooting towards someone swinging punches, no relying on gi chokes if you're in a t-shirt, and definitely no assuming your opponent will politely wait for you to set up your fancy berimbolo. At its core, BJJ is about survival first, dominance second. Whether you're competing in a tournament or defending yourself, the principles stay the same. Control the position, then finish the fight. And that's why, after a few months, you start seeing everything differently. Stairs become takedown opportunities. Crowded bars look like guard pull scenarios. And your little nephew trying to wrestle suddenly becomes, "Okay, kid, let me show you why you don't cross your feet while taking the back." Ever see two dudes slap hands and then immediately hug? That's the clinch, your safe zone against punches. In class, we practice shooting under strikes or using feints to get close. But in sport rolling, nobody's throwing hands, so you just grab grips and go. Takedowns look easy until you try one and faceplant. My first successful trip felt like winning the lottery. Pro tip, if you're getting smashed standing, pull guard, aka sit down and wrap your legs around them. It's not giving up, it's playing to your strengths. Positions are everything. Side control feels like being stuck under a fridge. Mount, worse. But the worst is when you take your back. Now, you're blind and about to get choked. On the flip side, when you get on top, gravity is your best friend. Submissions are cool, but you'll rarely hit one if you skip steps 1 through 3. Chokes, not joint locks, early on, because tapping to an air choke is way safer than your elbow popping. And never crank a sub in training. Save that ego stuff for tournaments. Guard blew my mind. You're on your back, but somehow in control? Closed guard equals legs locked. Open guard equals feet on hips like a soccer goalie. Half guard equals one leg trapped, aka please don't pass me. Fun fact, 90% of my first rolls ended with me in defensive guard, clinging like a koala. Now I'm learning to sweep or submit from there. Progress. Think of positions like a food chain. Bottom guard equals you're the underdog, but dangerous. Top side control equals you're in charge. Mount equals you're the king. Back control equals game over. If you're on bottom, survive. If you're on top, don't get greedy. Control first, attack second. Let me break down the submissions I've been grinding in class, the holy trinity of white belt taps. First up, the rear naked choke, the king of all finishes. It looks simple, just slide your arm under their chin and squeeze, right? But getting there is a whole journey of back control, breaking their posture, and fighting those frantic hand defenses. When it's locked in tight though, it's the most satisfying tap you'll ever feel. Then there's the armbar, the first submission that made me realize BJJ is basically adult problem solving. Isolate the arm, swing your leg over, and extend. But here's the kicker, you gotta do it slowly. My professor yells, "Control before power," at me at least twice per round. Nothing worse than muscling it and then losing position completely. And the Kimura? This one's my personal favorite. It's like opening a jar of pickles that's been in the fridge too long. You get that shoulder grip, start rotating, and feel their resistance crumble. Pro tip, use your whole body to turn, not just your arms, or you'll gas out faster than a Tesla on empty. Here's the hard truth I had to learn though. White belts, myself included, get submission tunnel vision. We'll fish for guillotines from bottom side control like it's our job. But now I live by this rule. If I can't hold the position stable for 10 seconds, I've got no business going for the sub. It's like trying to bake a cake in a shaking oven. Just gonna make a mess. These days, I'm trying to be patient. Set up the position first, make them uncomfortable, then go for the finish. It's not as flashy, but neither is eating mat because I rushed a sloppy armbar. Progress over ego, every time. BJJ's humbling. You'll lose a lot before things click. But when you finally hit that first clean sweep or sub, addicting. Drop your best white belt light bulb moment in the comments. I need all the help I can get.